Today we're here for our event celebrating Catterntide. So this is about celebrating St Catherine's Day, which is the 25th of November. St Catherine was the patron saint of lace makers, spinners and textile makers. This project is about celebrating lace, celebrating Nottingham's relationship with lace, but also exploring how lace continues to have a presence within the city and how it continues to inspire artists from all different genres in creating new and interesting works.
Hi, I'm Camilla. I'm here at Backlit Gallery as part of Catterntide Festival with my ephemeral floor installation. I've spent a day making it and then have introduced members of the public to come and add to it or subtract from it, and we've been using traditional lace patterns as stencils for them to sift icing sugar through, and this is also part of the theme of Catterntide, where previously it was celebrated with Cattern cakes, which were sugary treats for the celebration. I previously found out about this celebration called Catterntide through researching Nottingham lace. It basically originated from a queen at the time burning all of her lace as sort of a protest for the lack of trade for lace makers, which was quite a radical statement for its time. And through this action, Catterntide came about, which celebrated the trade of lace makers and textile makers from then on.
I'm the research fellow in the Lace Archive, which means that not only do I care for the conservation of the material that's in here, but I attempt to make it accessible to the public, scholars, and generally those who are of interest in the techniques, history, and products of the Nottingham lace trade. Machine-made lace began in Nottingham. This is the home of machine-made lace, but it's spread worldwide. Nottingham lace machines, Nottingham lace designers spread all over the world. The archive was originally set up for the education of lace designers, and what we have here has been donated either by the industry or members of the public. And whilst we're no longer training lace designers here, that archive has a historic importance to many design areas. Lace designers also designed for print, for weave, for wallpaper, for lino, and it's a historic reference point to how designs developed.
Today, so I did a lecture. There was a really fantastic size audience. It was very mixed generationally, which was really interesting to see. And I really gave them a sort of plotted history really of the art school and its relationship with lace and what we have in the archive. Some of the things that students get particularly interested in when they come into the archive is that this is a kind of it's a very kind of visceral experience. You walk in, there is a smell of aging leather and books. There is the beautiful qualities of the lace that they look at. And actually it's the whole atmospheric container of the archive that really excites people. So they come into this space and they're inspired by the making, they're inspired by how these things were done, these complicated pieces of lace were done. But I suppose some of the things that they get particularly interested in is about how they can use new technologies or new contemporary processes to reinterpret and start to ask questions about how lace could be articulated today.
I've been working with Nottingham Girls Academy. I've led 2 workshops with them. The idea was that I was coming in to teach them a little bit more about the heritage of lace and the prevalence within Nottingham, linking in with their learning about the Industrial Revolution as well. So that's something that they cover later on in the year, and so my role was bringing a bit of understanding about the importance of machines and also the industry of lace and what that brought to Nottingham. we started the sessions first off making small scale lace, and they found it quite a tricky process at first. It was quite interesting to kind of get their reaction to it. It was something completely new for them. But I think it helps them understand when you're crafting something like lace, it's quite a repetitive and technical process, and so it helps them to understand when machines were introduced how much of a difference that made. I think it's fantastic to have the Lace Archive open. For me as an artist, I like to be inspired by stuff like that, and when it's hidden away behind closed doors, you're like, ooh, get it out, like it's great to see it. And it's been really nice working with the young girls at Nottingham Girls Academy as well. It's something completely new for them, and it's helped them connect more with the place that they live in.
UKYA artists put out a commission for an art installation that celebrated the heritage of Nottingham lace, and I proposed to make a lace piano. It kind of came from the idea where I was really enamoured by the kind of theatrical, behind-the-scenes sound show of the whole Lever's lace machine, and how such a brute force machine can make such a kind of delicate fabric. So there's 5 bobbles of steel thread on each of the lace keys. When you touch, it conducts and closes the circuit, which triggers the sound that I collected when I went with my Zoom mic to Cluny Lace Factory in Ilkeston. So that's the last one in England, and the closest lace factory to there with a Lever's lace machine is Glasgow and then Calais. So they're quite few and far between. Bit of a dying trade, unfortunately. But really, I was lucky to go in and get the chance to go and film and record in their factory.
I was here a couple of weeks ago, and I was doing a workshop with the National Saturday Club that happens at Nottingham Trent University in the art department. So I did a workshop where we did shrink plastic, and the children designed their own lace patterns through looking at some of the archives of like the traditional lace patterns, and then they turned them into jewellery. It was really interesting when I got approached to do these workshops to like look into more of the history of Catterntide and like the lace making industry, and obviously how it used to be primarily women working in the like factories and like the place that we're in today, and backlit, like this obviously being somewhere that the lace making would have taken place. So yeah, that was something that was really interesting, and definitely something that I can see inspiring my work in the future. I think it's really important that the National Lottery Heritage Fund do favour projects like this, because it's so important to bring the arts into the forefront, and especially like looking at the heritage of Nottingham and such a rich heritage in lace.
I really hope that Catterntide can become an annual event, and that this can kind of be a project that stems further research and art making.